Good afternoon. Welcome on in to the afternoon edition of From Day One. Courts are in session, and today a judge finds herself, asking a very interesting question when trying to decide what kind of bond a defendant is going to get.
Sample clause numbers 2019-2790, 5511, 5753, 679, and 1034. The state of Texas, and that's the last two cases are 2020. Now, counsel, please.
Your Honor, it's for the state on 2020-0D01034.
Ivan Martinez for the state for the rest of the cases, Your Honor.
Angelina Lugo representing Ernie Duenas on 2019-0D05753 and also 2019-0D02790.
Your Honor, Fernando Chacon representing him on the 2020 00335 and 2020 0C00335, but that's the county criminal court case, Your Honor. And
Alright, you know you done fucked up when you have to have multiple defense attorneys from the public, defense department handle your cases because you got so many cases.
Only representing him on all the felonies in your court except for what Ms. Lugo is there for.
Very well. Let the record reflect this is a bond hearing. Ms. Lugo or Mr. Chacon, please, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, this gentleman, Ernie Duelas, we were in court at our last hearing, and he has been on bond, on PR bonds and corporate surety bond as well. He is 21 years of age. He was born and raised in El Paso, Texas, and prior to his arrest, he was living with his girlfriend. They're common law, in a sense. They have 3 children together, and those children are a year and a half, 2.5 years of age, and 3.5 years of age. He, prior to his arrest, was working at Church's Chicken, and he has worked, he has attended all of his years of schooling. He obtained his high school diploma, and then started has an interest in going into the HVAC work. Your Honor, he has been on bond, and has always reported on bond. He's always reported on the PR portion of the bond. He's always stayed in touch with corporate surety bond. He has no positive UAs.
You're an analysis, by the way, for UAs, folks.
Yeah, no positive UAs. We're at a point on this case, Your Honor, where we would like to work out a plea agreement eventually with this case, but of course everything's taking a little bit more time. We've got cases, misdemeanor cases, and then these felonies as well. I would ask if the court would consider either putting him back on PR bonds. He has never failed to report, as I understand, and or a combination of corporate surety bond with PR bond. If the court were to grant him a bond, his grandparents are willing to take him in initially for a 14-day period of time just to be sure that he's safe to be around the rest of the family. They have a 2-story home, and they have they have a section of the house where he can stay by himself. And then his mother and his children, and of course his common law spouse, would like for him to move back with them. I can tell the court that I think, I'll stop there, Your Honor, and allow Mr. Chacon to proceed and elaborate further if he wishes to.
Anything else you want to say, Mr. Chacon?
Your Honor, he's always had a very good connection with his grandfather and his parents, and he's a very smart young man, and he's been, I guess, transitioning, and so I think that he would be okay. to be put on PR bond, Judge.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Mr. Sedliff or Mr. Martinez, you want to respond?
Time for
Sure, Your
the
Honor. I want
prosecutor.
to just go into a few things regarding his current cases. May I share my screen with you, Judge?
Uh-oh. You know when
So
they're
you
gonna
have to allow it.
when they're gonna share screens, you know this can't be good.
Share screen.
Screen.
Uh-oh, does Your Honor not know how to use Zoom?
What did I do? I've never done this before.
Oh!
Judge, you shared your screen with us.
Yeah, you're showing us a recipe, Your Honor.
Pepper soup.
Yummy, I'm hungry.
Object, Your Honor.
Objection, Your Honor, that's not chicken noodle.
Let me pause share. Your screen is paused. Stop sharing. Okay. So I think I have to make you a co-host.
Yes, ma'am. Just one.
Good. I thought so.
So I've taken a little effort in arranging, so for my own understanding, what the defendant has been up to. So that first screen is all the cases that you've called, as well as the pending misdemeanors. As you can see, there are 4 instances of evading, 2 with vehicles and 2 on foot. One of the evading with a vehicle is related to one of the evading on foot. The defendant
Oh my God, this guy made a PowerPoint presentation.
Stemming from an evading with a vehicle in which he evaded on that motorcycle that's in the bottom left.
Oh my God, with pictures and animations.
Oncoming traffic, that's him going against traffic, where I'm indicating with my pointer. This is, he abandoned his motorcycle and ran through a residential area, and they had to pursue him and get him. He had he had cocaine in this instance of that amount, less than a gram. And so that was on January 17th of 2019. On April 18th of 2019, he was arrested with others that were in this car. They had additional offenses, which are reflected by those THC cartridges on the right. They had a large amount of money with them, a scale and other accoutrement of drug dealing. That's defendant circled with his co-defendants, and that's that offense that's stemming from there. On May 28th of 2019, this is 2020 0D00679 with evading with a vehicle. Again, now he has a Cadillac Escalade, which is a question just as an aside. I wonder about he has 2 lawyers right now. If they're both appointed, that's a question. He has his Cadillac Escalade. He evades from the officers, abandons the Escalade, and then goes into someone else's backyard. The officer has to chase after him, and in fact, he struggles so much that several officers had to subdue him in that instance. On August 6, 2019, while out on bond again, he sells this cocaine to an undercover officer. That's a picture of the cocaine that he was trying to sell. I would point you to this username is Flamer. Just keep that in mind for just a few minutes, Judge. During 2018, the defendant completed a PTD on another resisting case, evading and possession of marijuana. So that's 5 total evading cases that he has in his life. He did a beer run with these other people. And that's also significant because he completed PTD in 2018. So this is a timeline of the defendant's activities starting all the way back in 2015 when he's a PI. He slapped his current girlfriend back then when she was just his girlfriend. He does a runaway case in December of 2017. That's when we have that resisting. He gets out on bond on December of 2018. And we have no other offenses in 2018 because he was on PTV that whole period. He completes it in July of 2018. By early 2019, we have him invading with the vehicle and the possession of that controlled substance, as I was indicating with those 3 friends, and those are the facts of that. He gets out on bond on the 18th. On March 19th, he's evading again.
Next day.
and there's marijuana in the car on that instance. On April 9th, he's out on bond, and on April 18th, he picks up the 1 to 4 grams of THC. There's surveillance on the motel.
Next day again.
Friends. He gets out on bond. He further there's a El Paso Police Department case stemming from assault with a deadly weapon, where he pointed and fired into the air a firearm having to do with a drug deal gone bad, where someone stole drugs from him and he's threatening someone else as a result of that drug deal. On May 28th, that's when he's evading again, resisting and evading. He gets out on bond on May 30th, and then on August 6th, he sells the cocaine to the undercover officer, and then he's also arrested, and when he's arrested, he has this additional THC on him. It's a first-degree felony amount, and that's the offense that I'm handling. He gets out on bond on the 6th, and on... I'm sorry, I made an error there. He got out on the 13th, I believe. And then by the November 22nd, I think his PR bond was revoked, and so he was put in jail again, and he got out on bond. And then my case, this 1034 right there, was indicted, and that's when he was arrested in March of 2020. So I also know he is a confirmed Bloods 1700 gang member. His moniker is Flame, and if you remember back on that text message I was sharing with you, that's his username when he's selling those drugs to the undercover officer. That's the place that he has claimed as his residence, which I believe is, I could be wrong, but I believe it's his grandparents. Further, Judge, I would share with you the jail calls that I have reviewed. He hasn't learned anything on while out on bond. Without reading it to you, Judge, I can make it available to you, but he has some very choice things to say. Well, this is showing that he had a gun when he was arrested in August, and he wanted his dad to sell the gun so he could get out on PR bond. When he talks to his grandmother, this is the language that they use, referring to your decision to revoke his bond.
Holy shit!
Am I the effing B?
Thank you, Your Honor, for saying it instead of me.
Mr. Ruelas!
And then in March,
I'm the effing B. Holy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Another one. The judge is a hoe? Oh my God. The judge is a hoe dog for...
I've had to mute a few of those.
So, Judge, no respect for your court, no respect for the officers that are taking their life and the community in danger. Everyone's life is in danger with this defendant out on bond. He's a scary guy. He does not care about driving in front of traffic as it's ongoing in residential areas on multiple occasions, selling drugs, and then referring to you in the way that he did. He doesn't belong out with those 3 little kids or the rest of the community. He's not going to follow what the president says, the governor says, county commissioner, the mayor, or what you say, Judge. He's a dangerous person, and he's ready for TBC time.
In other words, lock him up and throw away the key, is what the guy's trying to get to, Your Honor. Just having a little fun reading. Take a few seconds.
Judge, you're muted.
Yeah, Your Honor. You might have...
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. I don't want to discuss this case anymore. If somebody is referring to me in that manner, way, shape, or form because I revoked his PR bond because he couldn't comply, they had positive UAs, then I'm not going to waste any more time. And I've got other people who probably respect me and respect me a little bit more. Mr. Sedlick, what are the bonds set at?
Not enough.
Your Honor, it's difficult for me to tell on portal. It appears he may not have a bond on my new offense, the 1034.
I'm sorry, Aaron. I have the bond amounts.
Thank
What are
you.
And just to let you know, Judge, he's only being held on detainer, so none of his bonds have been revoked, cash or surety portions. So I'm gonna go down the docket. That way I can.
His PR bond wasn't revoked?
No, Judge. He was just detained back in March.
Okay. So I'm setting new bonds then. That's what I'm going to do.
Smart
Okay,
move,
Judge.
Your Honor.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give me the highest bond amount.
On the 5753 case, that one is a $10,000 cash surety.
That's the highest?
Yes, Judge. As far as cash surety, and then there's a 25,000 PR.
I'm on 1034. That one doesn't have a bond at all, right?
I see 25,000 PR.
Oh,
One
Judge, that's
second,
a first
just grabbing my
degree.
little
I don't
cheat sheet.
know. That one might make sense to be at a different number. If that's what you see.
Yeah. I'm going to put a $50,000 on a first degree, $50,000 on the 1034, $50,000 surety. On the 2020 679, I'm going to put a 15,000 surety. On the 2019 5753, it's going to remain. It's a 10,000 surety, right, Mr. Castañeda?
Yes, Judge. That was previously posted, and has not been. There's no warrant for it or anything.
Okay, that's okay. I'll leave that one. Then we have another manufacturing delivery, which is a first degree correct in the 5511.
I believe that's state jail.
Right? I'm sorry?
I believe that one's state jail. That one's under a grant.
Oh, okay. My printer, I didn't see that. Okay. That is going to be a 15,000 surety. And then in the evading arrest, it's going to be another 15,000 as in the other one.
And Judge, on that one, there was a 7,500 cash surety posted. You want this to be an additional
7,500. An additional 7,500. I want it to be raised to 15,000. Get it? So all he has to post is another 7,500. Okay. So it's a 15,000. 15. Okay, there it is. Okay, Mr. Sedliff, everything. Anything else we need to do in this case?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Mr. Chacon, Ms. Lugo, anything else?
Your Honor, I only want to say to the court, of course, I have total respect for Your Honor, for all the courts, and I will go over all of this with Mr. Duenas.
Good, thank you. Thank you. Mr. Chacon, anything else, sir?
I'm gonna do the same, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I apologize.
Well, it's not you, it's the...
No, it's okay, Judge. I'm still part of that. So,
I
my
know.
apologies for anyway.
I don't think in any way, shape, or form, Ms. Lugo, Mr. Chacon, I do not impute the disrespect, the outrageous disrespect that your client has shown the court, the system, me. I do not impute that to either of you. Both of you are fine attorneys. So no worries. Go be safe, everybody. Go be safe, everybody. You'll be excused. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Aaron. That was great. You taught me how to share screen with somebody else now. Okay, we're late.
Now we both know.
I know. We're late for our next one. I'm going to get back on, okay?
All right, thank you. And with that, we're going to actually just call this good for today. Of course, come on back for the auditors, frauditors, sits and Karens in the evening. And of course, Art Bell, God part of the brain, in the overnight. Till then, like, share, and subscribe, be kind to one another, and release the Krakens as we march along this afternoon and every afternoon here from day one. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you tonight.